Cool. We are recording this. I just I just came down with a cold, so I'm probably going to shut up my video off as we jump into this, just because I'm going to be sharing my screen most of the time. So just want to mention that. So let's go
Cool.
ahead. Did you have any questions for me off the bat, or you just kind of want to jump into SEO?
I don't think so. I was trying to log into the website and I might have messed it up. It's telling me the access to this page has been restricted by the administrator.
Oh, that's interesting. Can
Yeah.
you go ahead and share your screen for a second? I'll allow you to. Just give me 1 second. I gotta stop mine, and then yeah, can you go ahead and share your screen just so I can see what it exactly looks like?
Yeah, let's see. How do I do that again? Oh, here we go. Which one do I do?
Um, it's going. It's hard for me to answer that question because it could be either the app itself. You can share like an entire screen. There's like a few options that it gives you. Cool. I can see the Zoom thing right now. So if you just
Oh, here
use,
we go.
yeah, try caseypainter.com/wp-admin.
Slash WP
Yeah, a WP dash. It's like the third one down that you have right there.
right there.
Yep. What'd you do, man? I I just logged into it
I
today.
think I put the password in wrong 3 times or something.
Interesting. The access has been by the admin. I don't know how you did that, to be completely honest. I've not seen that before. So hang on a second. Stop participant sharing. I'm just gonna pause the recording while I'm gonna get this recording again. And just for the sake of the recording, I'm just verbalizing that you're just trying to log into the site. Just so that way it's not. There's just a few minutes of like, what's going on here?
All right, I'm in.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure we could get you in. Like that's because, like I said, I've
Yeah,
never
no, I
seen that
appreciate
before.
that.
All right, so we got you in there. All right, so let's talk about SEO. First things first is that keyword research. And sorry, something else I should mention too is stop me at any point. Anytime you got a question, just interrupt me. Say, hey Tyler, just question. So feel free to stop me at any point because I know everything about this. So I might be a little like I might start speaking fast. I might be going a little too in the deep end. So yeah, feel free to stop me at any point in time. If you
Okay.
recall, we did the digital strategy guide, and this is going to be useful for you in terms of understanding your keyword opportunity. Everything related to SEO is based around this keyword opportunity and knowing what are the terms that people are searching. So back when we did this, we found that most people are including overland park in their terminologies. So like that's something to be very mindful of. And then this was done however many years ago. So let's just go take a look and see what is the updated situation. So let's go ahead and change this to Kansas City. And what I am doing right now is I am using Google's Keyword Planner tool. So this is a tool provided by Google Ads. I will have more data than you because I'm using an account that's been paying Google for a while. So if you pay Google, here, I'll show you in real time. So painters near me. And then let me pull up in another account that doesn't have the same settings. So let's try. Nope, that's not a good one. Let's try my account tools. You're totally welcome to use this keyword planner, but like I said, is you're not going to get as much data until you're using an account. So using what I've already provided for you in the digital strategy guide is probably going to be your best bet. But we're doing this right now that I figure wouldn't hurt just to see if there's any trends. So this is what a free account looks like. You just get a range. It tells you, hey, it's somewhere between 1,000 and 10,000 searches. Whereas if you're using a paid account, it tells you the exact amount of searches happening in your market for everything. So when I look at this, I'm like, the first thing I do is I kind of weed out the most popular keywords because the way to structure SEO is on the website, pages will take the most proper keyword. And you can see already over here what are the keywords that we're targeting. Exterior painting, a very generic version of the service. Painting company, a very generic keyword. And that's not for the service, that's for the homepage. Trying to utilize the homepage. So pages themselves use very, very basic terminologies of SEO, because the idea is that the page isn't the SEO tactic, the blogs are, but we still need some SEO there. So these have already been done. These keywords have already been used. You can't use them anymore. Once you've used the keyword, can't use it again. And the same thing goes for blogs. So we already have some existing blogs over here. These are from when like the site was built. Interior painting strategies, long-lasting exterior paint. Those keywords are done. Can never use them again. It doesn't do any good for your SEO. You can do different ways of saying the same thing. So you can say the best interior painting strategy, or you could say interior painting strategies for Kansas City. Like there's a bunch of different ways to say the same thing, but you can't say it word for word moving forward. But that's okay. These aren't the best. Like right now, there's really not, there's not too many keywords that we're using. Looking at the blog, like I haven't had time to actually look into this one yet, but let's go ahead and take a look at this. So from a quick scan of it and just looking at the subject line, it looks like painting contractors is the term that we would use here for SEO. Like that is the keyword we're trying to optimize for. However, okay, I just wanted to double check. Painting company was the keyword that we used for the homepage. So there's no issue of overlapping. I was concerned because I was like, if we've already used painting contractors as the keyword, it's going to have like not the best results. So now over here, now that we've determined a keyword, well, sorry, I'm starting to jump ahead of it. I want to talk more about determining keywords first before we actually go into optimizing a blog. So when I'm looking at what are the top search keywords, one of the first things I do is I just take a look to see what's the things that are getting searched the most of. Question for you is, what is a service you're looking to get the most work out of? Is there a particular service, or it doesn't really matter?
I would say for Google, probably like interior painting.
Okay, so if interior painting is the priority, then let's just kind of like scan through here what is going to be the most relevant terminologies for this. So generally, just from my experience doing this, generally people don't search interior paint that often. Generally, it's a more general term like home painters near me or house painters, like people, or painting companies is what people will search. But luckily,
Hmm.
we could see here, okay, there is someone actually searching interior related. So if we're focused on getting more interior specific leads, and we don't care if we only care that they're interior, not exterior, and nothing else, well then this is the keyword to prioritize first. So here, let's just make a little list, and I'll send this to you afterwards. So file, new document. All right, so interior painting companies near me. That one had 1,300. Next on this list is interior painters near me, 210. That's a significant drop off. 210. And then interior house painters near me, and then interior home painters near me. Right. Okay. And those are all 210. So this gives us essentially 4 blogs to work with in relation to interior painting. So that's the first step. We know this is going to be the most important term. Like if we're going to do anything, that our best blog has to be for this term. Interior paintings near me, just because it gets the most searches. It has the most SEO potential. So, okay, we know that. Next, what I do is I just also take into consideration what our existing SEO is doing. So this is a tool, you have access to it. It's called Google Search Console. I'll just take a look at like the last 3 months. And then what I do is I sort between the last 3 months and compare it to the previous 3 months. And then I take a look at what am I getting less impressions for. So over here, filtering by the impression difference. So there's been significantly less impressions for interior and exterior painting, interior home painter, interior exterior painting. That kind of makes that these aren't good keywords. Interior exterior painting is a very weird keyword to be ranking for. Like ideally it wants to be one thing. So I'm not upset that these are kind of going in the wrong direction. I am curious, like what are the things that are happening in the best direction? So painting company, interior house painter, painting company, overland park, residential painter, painting contractor. Like you're showing up more for these terms. It looks like a lot of these terms include painter in them. So I'm just going to make a mental note. Okay, painter is something that we're getting increasing SEO from. And the best way I can kind of describe this is like riding a wave. If you're familiar with surfing at all, probably not the best example for someone that lives in the middle of America, completely landlocked, but like if you're familiar with surfing, you're trying to catch a wave and you can usually see what waves are coming. And it's the same way I look at catching a wave is the same way I look at SEO. I can see that we're already catching some sort of wave for painter. I don't really see any other trends. If I sort by 100, it's probably nothing else. Overland Park is something else that's popping up here. Overland Park was up over here too. So I'm kind of making a mental note that painter is a word, like a specific terminology of painter. So I'll just write this over here. Painter, Overland Park is something that we, for whatever reason, have to have better SEO compared to other ways of saying the same thing. So I'm just making a mental note. Okay, these are important right here. So when I'm going to come up with a blog title, I'm just extremely mindful of everything that we've just discussed. So if I know this is the keyword I want to target, and I know that I already have good SEO for these terms, I'm just going to figure out a way to combine the two. And something else I want to stress is any title you come up with, throw a geographical element into it. It doesn't need to be part of the keyword, but here, and I'll show you what I mean. Here's the most recent blogs I did. Why VHS stands out among painting companies in Dayton, Ohio. Why hiring professional interior house painters is essential for your Dayton, Ohio home. Why painting kitchen cabinets is the best choice for your Dayton, Ohio kitchen remodel. I'm not making it the subject matter, Dayton, Ohio, but I'm mentioning it. And that is the best thing you can do for your SEO, because SEO is global. We don't give a fuck about clients all the way in India or Pakistan or China. We only want people visiting the site from your service area. So that's why always incorporating some sort of geographical element is going to be very, very, like, that is one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give. Okay, so we have that. Sorry, I'm trying to find that document. So I know this is going to be the first term I really want to use, interior painting companies. And then I'm going to try to use painter if I can. I'm going to try and use Overland Park if I can. Probably can't use painter for this one because painting is specifically in the term. But luckily I can see here, hey, these are probably some blogs that are going to really help us out. They might not have as much search volume, but I really like the fact that painter is showing up in them. This is extremely important because it has a ton more search volume, but probably what's really going to help our SEO is focusing on these keywords. And that's fine. Like, it's one blog isn't going to fix SEO. Blogging is something that should be done like once a month at like the bare minimum. But this, it's just a good indication. Like, this is like, strategizing is the hardest part about SEO. And like already right here, I know, okay, so typically I structure things in threes. I know right here we're good to go. I'm crossing everything off the list of what I want to be doing for interior painting SEO. We have the most popular keyword right here. We have a extremely relevant keyword that we can fit in our existing SEO. And then we got a few more variations of saying the same thing. So interior house painters, interior home painters, different ways of saying the same thing. So yeah, I'm feeling confident in this strategy now moving forward. So now once we have this, it's just like, okay, so what are going to be our subject lines? So interior, and this is where AI comes into play. So here, let's go move over to ChatGPT. You really don't have to know much about this. Like, even though I know how to do it, I typically just ask ChatGPT to do it for me because it saves an hour. So I'm going to say, hey, Chat, I am working on blogs for my painting company. I am trying to focus specifically on getting better interior painting SEO. I know that we have good existing SEO for terms like painter and Overland Park KS. I need help coming up with blog titles for these 3 keywords. ChatGPT is not the best, so I'm going to tell it some specific things. Make sure to use the exact keyword in the blog title, and also make sure to incorporate a relevant geographical area, either Overland Park, KS, or Kansas City. Here are the top 4 keywords. Come up with 5 potential blog subject titles for each of them. And then we just copy this, put it in here. Get rid of these near me's. The near me is not, we can't use that for SEO. I mean, I guess you can. I show it here where, yeah, I guess interior painting companies. That's advanced. I'm hesitant to tell you to do it. Like if you can incorporate the near as part of a subject line and your SEO, it's a sneaky way to get better juice out of it all. But it's really hard to do. So I feel like that's an advanced tactic that I'm not going to specifically recommend it right here. I'm just going to do the base keyword. So and here we go. Here's the fun thing. So now it essentially just did brainstorming for me. What takes me a while just now took seconds. So now all I do is I just choose which blog title I like the most out of these. So transforming your living space, top interior painting companies in Overland Park, Kansas City. Comparing interior painting companies in Kansas City, a homeowner's guide. Why interior painting companies in Overland Park, Kansas City are worth the investment. 5 key factors that set interior painting companies in Kansas City apart. How interior painting companies in Overland Park, Kansas City deliver top quality results. So now that I have 5 options to choose from, I just choose whatever is the one that I can talk about the best. Whatever is going to be the easiest for me to talk about is the one I now choose from. So something like comparing interior painting companies in Kansas City, a homeowner's guide, sounds cool, but it's probably going to be a lot of work because we have to go do research on other painting companies. We can't just talk about ourselves. So probably going to avoid that. And then something like this, like why interior painting companies in Overland Park, Kansas City are worth the investment. That's probably the one I'm going to choose out of the 5, just because this is extremely easy to talk about. We just talk about why we're awesome and why we're better than the DIY approach. It's just, so that's how I would approach that. So here, let me move this under here. Next one, interior painters in Overland Park. Your guide to 10 questions to ask interior painters in Kansas City before you hire. What makes interior painters in Overland Park, Kansas City stand out from the crowd? Pro tips from, I like number 4, pro tips from interior painters in Kansas City for a perfect paint job. That's where you share your insights. But I really like 10 questions to ask. This one's probably going to be the one that I would choose. So here, let's just do this. Interior house painters. Why interior house painters in Overland Park can save you time and money. Expert advice. Hiring 5 common mistakes can help you avoid. Transform your house with interior house painters. I like this one. 5 common mistakes. Something else that I'm doing too, in the back of my brain, I'm also choosing what can we repurpose for marketing. Like what are some of these blogs that we could use and then reuse them in an email campaign or reuse on social media. Like there can be additional benefits to writing these blogs. Transform your house with interior house painters in Kansas City is a shitty blog to share in an email newsletter versus something like 5 common mistakes. Like that's something that has more juice to it. So like that's something I am kind of choosing while on the spot of like, what's something that has multi-purpose? Because the hardest part of digital marketing is this constant balance between functionality, the visuals, the aesthetic appeal, and the actual performance, the actual how the SEO performs. And the best way I can kind of say that is like kcpainter.com is like there's a reason why the service pages have a very intense approach to like the design of them, and there's a reason why the blog is a very basic just kind of design. It's because we don't care about the design in a blog. The blog's purpose is to help the landing pages rank. The landing pages are designed to convert. Like that's my strategy for digital marketing. So it's constantly this balancing act of Are we choosing it for functionality? Are we choosing it for design? Are we choosing it for, yeah. So there's a lot of things that you like. There's just a lot that goes into it. And now the last one, interior home painters. Interior home painters, the ultimate guide to working 5 ways. Here, another one, 5 ways. I love these 5 ways. And something else too is once we actually start working on some of these, you'll notice that rank math will specifically tell you like, hey, it's good if you include a number in your blog title. So like these ones that say 5, 5, 10, why, like there's some additional reasons why we might choose them too, beyond just being able to use them in email newsletters and things like that. But cool. All right. So now we have 4 keywords, 4 potential blog ideas, plus the one that you've already written that we can now optimize. Like this gives us a really, really good foothold of like tackling SEO. Okay. So here, let's close some tabs before I get overwhelmed by all of these. Boom. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this. We don't need this. We'll keep this. We'll keep this. All right.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're looking at the keywords that are kind of ranking for us right now, right? Like painter and Overland Park, like that's coming, like we have some ranking for that. So are you saying that those are the ones that we should focus on, or
It's going to be easier. So so if like I'm choosing to do SEO, something like this is really advanced. I want to stress that above all else and how I'm kind of choosing this. This is just like what I can show you is that you're getting really no SEO other than these terms. Anything that's getting a click is your real SEO. Painting contractors, Kansas City got a click. Painters in Kansas City got a click. And that's the extent of it. There's like 5 keywords that you actually got real SEO for. Everything else we're seeing on here is the worldwide SEO. So how well you're appearing in Pakistan, how well you're appearing in California and things like that. So the reason why I'm looking to see what is the things that you're getting the most impressions for is it's going to be 10 times easier for these to show up in your market compared to trying to tackle a keyword that you're not already showing up for on the worldwide scale of it. Like
Gotcha.
whatever we can take from the worldwide side and bring it to your local market is essentially what I'm trying to do here. I think that's the best way to describe it, if that helps make it more sense.
Yeah, pretty much. In every one of them, we need to put Kansas City, or we need to put a suburb or a neighborhood or something that
In
we work
the
in, right?
in the blog title, yes. The keyword itself, not so much. Like the blog title is here. If we go back to this, none of these keywords have the location in them. We're not focusing on the location in the actual keyword itself. We're just including the location in the subject matter. We're mentioning it. It's not the focus. It's not the, if we're going to like describe it as like, there's the main character in the story. That's the keyword. That's the main character in the story. The location is just the setting. We have to kind of describe the setting for the SEO to work for your local area, but we don't need to make it the whole story. Kind of is like the best way I can kind of describe it. I'm not the best with analogies. I need Nick May for that. All the analogies that I give, I've just stolen from Nick. So I just want to. Like,
So what you're saying is in the title is where we're gonna put the area,
correct. And in
and
the
then
actual in the content too, we'll mention it throughout. Here, let's go back to
okay,
the one I showed you for Jessica. So let me actually log into the site there, so you can see the back end too for it. So for this one, why Visionary Home Solutions stands out among painting companies in Dayton, Ohio. Painting companies is the keyword we're optimizing for. I just included Dayton, Ohio, just because it's relevant to her service area. And then throughout the actual blog, Dayton is mentioned 12 times, it looks like. But it's not the focus. This is where things get confusing. You can actually focus on more than one keyword in a blog, and that's something I'm kind of doing in the back of my mind while I'm writing blogs, but that's not the right way to go about it starting out. You just focus on one keyword. So here, if we go to this back end of it, the one keyword I am focusing on is painting companies. So painting companies is here. Painting companies is all throughout. Painting companies, oh, I'm ruining the blog. Painting companies, if I could spell. This is mentioned 20 times throughout. That is the main thing that I am optimizing for. You'll see here, painting companies is in the title. Painting companies is in the first sentence. Painting companies is in throughout everything. It's not mentioned as much as Dayton, but I am mentioning Dayton as much as wherever it makes sense to, just because it just has that added benefit. Again, most SEO is global. Most of the audits I do, most of the SEO I see, like here, I can even show you with your website. It's mind blowing how it really is. Watch your website not be a great example, but reports, add comparison, create region, exactly matches Missouri. One of your most popular areas, most of your website traffic comes from Punjab. This is what I'm not being racist when I say most website traffic comes from India or Pakistan or China. That's just the reality of it. So, and that's the same thing for you. It's like almost all of your website traffic, if we just filter by your service area, this goes from
Because they're trying to get a hold of me selling me some service, right?
not even that. It's just how SEO works.
Huh.
This is the same thing for every website I have ever seen. 142 website visitors, 30 of them actually come from your service area. 1/5 of your website traffic is relevant.
Missouri, why did it say Missouri, Illinois?
I'm sorry, I did that. I'm stupid. I think Illinois is part of Kansas City. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I got you.
Sorry,
I was like,
but it's even
Missouri,
less.
Illinois.
It's like 1/10 of your website traffic is actually from your service area. It's that,
110.
yeah, and that's why I'm so adamant. Because again, you're working with me. I do things very different. I have my own strategies, my own things I've learned. I rarely ever see professional marketers do what I do of including some sort of locational element to their SEO. And there's a reason why almost every other painting contractor doesn't get relevant local SEO. It's because they don't take the time to do this one additional step. This is I think I mentioned this at the start. It's like the biggest things I see people mess up with blogging is they fuck up the strategy or they fuck up the locational aspect of it. If you can do those two things properly, like that's like the hardest part of SEO. Like writing the blogs is the easiest part, as weird as it sounds. But yeah, so the focus keyword is painting companies. Whenever I can, I'm mentioning the geographical element. And it's the same thing here. Whenever I can, I'm focusing on interior painting companies, but whenever I can, I'm going to mention some sort of geographical element. Here, interior painters is the focus keyword. Here's interior house painters. And here's painters in Overland Park. Or sorry, no, interior home painters is the keyword. Like that is the highest priority. But again, it does you no good to just write a blog saying 5 ways interior home painters can elevate your living space. Like you add that geographical just to get the extra juice out of it. Now that we have it, let's go about writing a blog. So, and this is where ChatGPT comes in handy. Okay, thank you for the help, chat. You are now going to help me write a blog. The blog is going to be why interior painting are worth the investment. Don't actually start writing the blog yet. Ask me a few questions so I can give you relevant information about our service and company. Here is some existing verbiage for you to utilize. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Let's go to your website, kcpainter.com. Is there anything I want to include here? Nope, because it already has that information on the interior page. I'm going to print out this page as a PDF. It looks wonky, but chat can figure this out. I'm pretty sure, at least. And then I'm just going to feed chat this existing... Where'd it go? think that's why. I think I'm in the wrong GPT. Yeah, this one doesn't let you do that. You have to use the 4.0 model. But that's okay. Because again, ChatGPT is extremely smart, but it is a notorious liar. So we're going to prevent it from lying as much as possible. So, and notice how I said I asked it to ask me questions. So typically, if you were going to ask me to write blogs for you, I would send over a list of questions beforehand to get content relevant to the blogs. We're skipping that stage. You're going to have to do that to yourself. You have to give ChatGPT some information. So let's answer these together. What makes your interior painting services unique? Well, or here, let me just make this easy as possible because I don't want to spend too much time on. Well, we got an hour. Here, let's do all of these. So, what makes number one? One from the website. Two. What is your typical client profile in Overland Park, Kansas City? You do a lot of historical homes, right?
Yeah, but those ones aren't usually in Overland Park.
Okay, what's your
Um,
typical client profile then? And even if they're not, so that's a mistake you just made right there. Even if your typical client doesn't come from Overland Park, it's still, what is your ideal client? So your ideal client is probably, even if it's not Overland Park, just overall for interior painting. I'm assuming historical homes
oh,
is something
gotcha. Yeah, yeah, older homes, repair needed.
to
Uh,
paint historical homes with repairs needed. But we also service a general homeowner clientele. Who's the typical client? Are they like 30? Are they like 40? Are they married? Do they have
um,
kids? Like what are they typically like?
Probably like 45 and up with more expendable income. I would say.
Okay. No, I just need something. Chat just needs something. Okay. So three, can you
Yeah.
share standout customer testimonials? I love that. That's a great way to feed information to ChatGPT is just give it that Casey Pater, Kansas City. Let's just find a really long review.
I've never even seen that review that you just showed.
You got a lot of, no, you did. You got a response to it.
No, that Don Nyland guy, he accidentally wrote me a bad review because he was trying to get a hold of somebody else. See,
Not
see,
you.
look at
Tell you. We'll have-
I need to edit my response because I found that guy on Facebook and called him and told him, please get this review off of here.
That's funny. That's really funny. All right, we gave it a few reviews. What are some specific challenges your team addresses during interior painting projects? Could be like working around furniture, tight
Yeah, oh,
schedules.
yeah, furniture, pets, kids,
Again,
people.
you're the something I want to stress too is you're the expert subject matter. You have to ramble when you feed information to ChatGPT. You don't need to do it right this second because this is mainly demo purposes, but just know more is better than less. Like you want to just overwhelm ChatGPT with information because it distills it for you. So here, I'm just going to use my voice to text to make this quick. So pets are a common issue, keeping track of them, having them not be a hassle on project sites. Furniture as well is a common thing that we run into.
Timelines.
Timelines also can be a struggle if there's just a variety of things going on in projects. All right, cool. Cool. Voice to text is extremely helpful in this thing. I use my voice to text feature way too much when I'm
Is
doing
the chat
blogs.
GBT that you're using just the regular chat GBT you get?
Yep. Well, I do have a pro plan, but yeah, you can do all of this with the regular chat GPT. It's totally possible. Do you have any special officer? Nothing special for special. 6. It's asking about us. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you have existing information, just copy paste.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to skip the rest of these. But this gives you an idea. Like the more information you give, the better. And then instead of just staying at 10, you can have ChatGPT ask you 10 more questions and ask more. The more information you give Chat, the easier this is going to be. Because the hardest thing is getting content. Getting content is the hardest part. So, all right, we answered all of its questions. Cool. Let's see what it has to say. It's just going to immediately jump into writing it. It's just giving me a structure. I don't want a structure. Let's go ahead and draft up the blog. Here's the thing. ChatGPT sucks at SEO, so I have to remind it how to do SEO. Make sure to incorporate the keyword periodically in the blog. Make sure to also include it in headlines. All right, let's let it do its thing. Let's go over here. Let's add a new post. Let's set the keyword. Let's add the it's still writing. I love that. Sometimes it doesn't do enough, but we gave it a lot of information. It's just blogging. All right, so let's close that. And then let's put this in here. And let's let this finish up. Let's copy that. Let's paste it into here. And let's get rid of these lines. I don't like that it did that. Well, before I do that, I just want to see before we take time on the design side of things, let's just see what the score that we got. We immediately jumped to a 60. I like that. What's wrong with it? Focus keyword not found in your SEO meta description. Easy fix. We can do that in a second. Use focus keyword in the URL. We can easily fix that in a second. Content is a little low, so I'm just making mindful of that. Additional. Everything is perfect. Essentially is what I am reading right here. So all the stuff we can fix. If there was some issues, like here's what I show you what I would do if there was issues. This is exactly what I do. I just take a screenshot of everything Rank Math is telling me we did right or wrong. And then I go, okay, here is what Rank Math said.
This is so, man, this is crazy.
Isn't it, dude? It's the world we live in. It works smarter, not harder nowadays. Okay, here's what Rank Math said. I think you did a great job. You did a great job. We have great keyword density, but I'd like for this to be a little longer.
Do you have to write like that to it? Does that help it?
No, I just anticipate the day AI is going to take over the world. I just want it to spare my life. I wanted to remember, like, oh, it was really nice to me. It respected me.
Oh man, that's scary.
So here it's telling us everything. You can have it explain these things to you too, which is really cool. I already know everything it's saying that we need to do, but it's telling you right now, like add internal links. It's telling you, okay, link to your interior painting services page. Add external links. Link to an eco-friendly paint website. So even if you didn't understand what the website was telling you here, you could just take this screenshot, put it into ChatGPT, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do next if it can't take care of it for you, which is kind of cool. That's the first time I've seen it do that. But yeah, now
Is
I'm
it
just gonna.
important to have every single one of those things on ranked math in the green?
No. Let's go through them line by line right now. I'll tell you which one is. Hooray, you're using your focus keyword in the SEO title. Yes. Everything under basic SEO? Yes. All of these need to be a green check mark. We'll go through how to do this in a second. Additional. All of these need to be green. Yes. So, yes, basic SEO, additional, all need to be green. It's not until I take that back. Under additional, use content AI to optimize the posts is a scam. That's how Rank Math makes their money. Don't ever worry about content AI. That one's going to be the only one that stays red. Everything else is going to probably be green. Focus keyword used in subheadings should be green. Add an image with focus keyword as alt text should be green. Keyword density green. URL should be green. Link out green. Do follow links green. Internal links green. Haven't used this keyword before green. Content AI red. Title readability. I personally don't give a crap about title readability. Some people take this really seriously. Some people don't. I'm on the side of I don't care. If I can get 3 green check marks, I am stoked. If I can't get 3 green check marks, I don't really care. I have the most. I at the end of the day choose if I like it or not. Not rank math for the title. Content readability. This one you could probably look at it, but yeah, I don't ever really look at content readability after. Any of these readability ones, I don't care about. Any of these basic or additional ones, probably important. Everything except for content AI. So going back to this, one thing that we needed ChatGPT to help with is just expand on it. Yeah, go ahead and expand on it, please. All right, cool. We'll let it do that. We'll go back here, exit out of all this. Go back here, and then all right, let's put it back in.
So you just asked it to expand it a little bit to get more words?
Yeah, because that was the biggest complaint from. I hate when it does this. That was the biggest complaint from Rank Math was that it said it wasn't enough words. Content is 862 words long. It's giving you a yellow check mark. It's not quite. I think it needs to hit 1,000. So again, we didn't quite hit it.
But we could just ask more questions or do some more questions.
Exactly. If you keep telling it to add more, it's just going to reduce the effectiveness of it compared to being like, hey, ChatGPT, here's stuff I can provide to you that you can use for this. That is always going to be better. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. Let's go ahead and double each one of these sections to get to the right amount, please. ChatGPT is an expert in words, but like I said, it can lie a lot. So like that's your job to make sure it stays on track and gives right information. It just does the heavy lifting essentially of actually typing everything out.
Yeah.
This would take me a week. A blog would take me a week before, and now it takes me a second to get this the hard part done. Or yeah. But yeah, you can see it's clearly longer now. This is exactly what I am looking for. This is a much better length. All right. Oh wow, it's really going into it now. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're doing fine. All right, let's go put this in here. It still didn't like that. What does it want from us? 1,273. If I just go... It wanted 1,500. Jeez. Again, ChatGPT
Is that kind of does it just give you like a different amount depending on like what you're writing?
Yeah, ChatGPT is notoriously like if you ask it to write a paragraph, it'll give you an essay. If you ask it to write an essay, it'll give you a paragraph. It's like it's really ironic in how it works like that. So one of the things that you could do is it doesn't hurt to have multiple GPTs. So, and this is something I do all the time. It's like I have my main one that I'm using for a primary task, like writing the blogs. And then I might have another one like this. And you can have different models do different things. So 4.0 has access to images, so where I uploaded a screenshot. 0.1 has access to reasoning. So I'm going to use this for writing, for example, is something I can do. Okay, I am writing blogs right now, but having trouble reaching the length requirement. I'm going to feed you a paragraph and I need you to expand on it for me, please.
So how does rank math come up with the like it wanted you to do 1,500
They're always going to be
word?
1,500 is the thing.
Oh, they're always 1,500.
Yeah, it's probably always going to be 1,500. And you see, if I have one that I asked it to expand, look at it, it gave me an essay. The other one was just doing too much to be able to go into an essay on all of this stuff. So here, let me do this. See, we just hit 1,600 now. So we're good. We're essentially good. So we have the hardest part done. Here, let me just wait a second. I need to fix this. Why is it doing that? Whatever. Okay. I'm not going to worry about that. Save draft. Let's go through everything I would do now. So first things first is I'm going to take care of the basic SEO. Keywords in the title, we started with that, easy. Focus keyword not found in your SEO meta description. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. How far did I go? Again, doesn't hurt to have multiple GPTs. Come up with a meta description for this blog. You really don't need to work hard nowadays. You just need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, this is so insane.
I feel like a scam sometimes because I charge people a lot of money to do SEO and then I'm like over here just using AI for all of it. But I'm like, you're paying for the years of experience to know what to tell AI. That's all it is. It's like all right, cool. Now I got the meta description. I go over here and hit edit snippet.
Oh,
And
wait,
this,
wait. What? How did you get you got the meta description for the chat GPT, but
yep.
what?
I just asked
Burn.
it. Yeah, I just asked it to distill. So the meta description is just a very short summary of your blog,
Oh,
essentially.
okay.
So I'm going to take that meta description. I could have done it in different places. I could have just asked it here in this original chat, hey, write a meta description for that blog. But I'm going to keep this chat dedicated to writing the blogs, this chat dedicated to expanding certain paragraphs, and this chat dedicated to writing the meta description for me. It's better if you keep a chat focused on a specific task rather than have it do multiple tasks. It's my pro tip to you for that. So I got the meta description. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to find this edit snippet button. This is where you edit all your basic SEO. So if you needed to fix your SEO title or if you needed to fix something else, you edit here in the snippet. We already have the permalink and the permalink is fine. That wasn't getting any trouble. All I have to do is update the description here to learn why hiring a professional interior painting company in Over Park like KC Painter is worth every penny. It doesn't like how long it is. It's saying it's a little bit on the longer side. I try and take that into consideration. So like, for example, I might just end it here at every penny and it like that. It's now in the green. We just touched green. Here, why interior painters, I might take out KC Painter from this in the separator, but it's still red. I don't really care. The title is important, but yeah, it's just something I'm choosing to take into consideration here as this description. So I'm going to keep that, exit out of this. Oh, wait a second. Again, this thing doesn't know SEO. The meta description needs to be a tad shorter and specifically include the keyword. The keyword is interior painting companies. Because you see, we updated the meta description and it didn't fix this over here. And that's why I was like, oh, that's right. I never used the keyword. So let's go ahead, chat. You can do this. You don't need to think too long about this. It's just a meta description. Cool. Edit snippet. It's still a little bit long, but I don't mind. It's a sentence. It's really not that long. Now everything is green here. Basic SEO is done. We're already at a 66 score. That's awesome. Now it's just all the other stuff. One of the things I'm going to do first is because we used AI, AI is notorious for using the stupid fucking symbol, and it drives me nuts, and I'm pretty sure this is what penalizes your SEO, is if you keep the symbol in your blogs. So all I do is I just go through and I delete it. It's the classic telltale sign that ChatGPT was used. And if you can remove it, well, now it's harder to tell that ChatGPT was used.
What they use a little dash dash.
Yes, I don't know why. They use it as like a semicolon. Everything in ChatGPT, you see it here. It's like, you can tell, you'll see it now moving forward in life. If you see this dash, you knew someone used AI for something instead of coming up with it themselves. It is like, it is the greatest.
It's just a double dash?
It's a double dash. It's the weirdest symbol. You don't even have it on your keyboard. Like you can't type it out because like if I do double dash, it looks like that. It's the weirdest.
How do you search it in there then?
I just take it. So I just
Copy paste.
I just copy it and then I do Control F and then put it in here. And now it pops up. We got 0. We're good to go. I know there's no more. That's a really advanced recommendation I'm giving you right there. I am assuming that Google can tell that is a ChatGPT sign because I can also tell that's a ChatGPT sign. I don't know if it actually impacts your SEO. I just have an assumption that it does. So I just do it. It doesn't take too long to fix. Next thing is once I've done that, I will probably just go through here. What's the next biggest thing? Add an image with your focus keyword as alt text. All right, let's go ahead and space up all of this information. So I'm going to go ahead and add a image. Go to the media library. There's an interior painting photo right there. Right when you're about to choose it and hit select, you get this option right here, alt text. What is the keyword we're using? Interior painting companies. So the best way to understand alt text is that alt text is supposed to be used for people who are blind, but you get in a ton of SEO out of alt text. So it goes back to what I was saying before, this balance of functionality and design. I always put the keyword in that we're going to optimize for, interior painting companies, and then I try and figure out a way to describe the image while using that keyword. So, interior painting companies painting a blue wall. It's not perfect. It's not the best way, but that's my little hack of doing something like that. Put it in. Boom. Focus, keyword found in image, alt text. Let's add another one. Let's add some more imagery. It doesn't hurt to have a few images in here. Space up all the text. Image, media library. Let's do this one. Oh, no, I want a horizontal one right now. Let's do that. I'm going to hit replace because I forgot to put the alt text in. Put the keyword in, interior painting companies, near Overland Park, painting a white wall. Again, it's a really messy way to go about it. It's not the sexiest. It's not perfect, but it works. Here it's saying keyword density is 0.79. If this was yellow, I would go ahead and add more of the keyword into the thing. You just want to make it flow naturally. That's where ChatGPT is really good at. ChatGPT is really good about getting you a good keyword density. That's really hard to do as like a person, I find. URL is 104 characters long. Consider shortening it. I don't care so much about this. I told you I look for green on this one. Not always, but if I can, I am happy to shorten it. So I can just take out why painting companies in Overland Park, why painting companies are worth the investment is probably an easier way to shorten that. But if I still can't get it, well, I don't know. I don't know if it registered. Sometimes it doesn't register what you do. So what I just did with there is I saved the draft and then I'm just refreshing the page. Sometimes it needs that. Yeah, it didn't. It's still long. I'm not going to care too much about this one. I'm not shortening it. It's fine. Link out to external resources. So blogging likes when you link to things off your website and on your website. Is a very core component of SEO is linking. So right now I'm going to find where is a thing that we can link to off the website. There's a hack. I know a hack too. So one of the hacks I do to link off the website and have it be relevant is I just go to the business, KC Painter, Kansas City. I grab the share button, I grab this link, and then I just come here, and then I just take something like KC Painter, or maybe this. Don't take our word for it. Our customers recommend us for our professionalism. And then I just link it to our Google My Business profile. And then I set it to open in a new tab. Now look at that. Add at least one external link with a do follow found in your content. We got that taken care of. And it's got this added bonus of actually linking to something in your service area and it's relevant to you. I don't tell anyone about this. That is a really, really, really big secret I have for SEO and like something that I do for getting this like external thing. But I don't stop there. That's a cheat. That's a good, easy cheat, but we can do one more. So I always try and find what's something that we can utilize that we can link off. So like if you ever talk about a certain product, like if you mention a specific primer that you use, that is easy. You just link to that primer's website. But here,
what if you link to like Overland Park?
you could do that too. It doesn't hurt.
It,
So like that's actually kind of where my brain was going right now is like just doing something like this is like seeing something over here in Overland Park. I typically try and do this stuff in the middle of the blog because people aren't really reading blogs. Overland Park, Kansas City. Here, we'll just do the home of Overland Park. And then we could just link to that. I exactly like where your brain is at there because it's relevant. You want something relevant to go out there. Ideally, something painting orientated helps too. So, like for example, you don't want to be a painter linking out to Petco because then it just looks confusing to Google. Like, are you a painting contractor or are you a pet supplier? You want to link to things that are relevant. So yeah, some sort of balance act. This blog in particular, we're not focusing so much on like painting specific stuff. It's more just like about you, so I'm not too concerned about that. When you talk about something like this blog, like the 10 questions to ask interior painters, or 5 common mistakes, or 5 ways interior painting, like that is going to be a lot easier to link out to something like painting specific because you just link out to Benjamin Moore or a specific color from Benjamin Moore or something like that. It's like those are usually my hacks to do something to fit in an external link. Internal link is easy because we already have a big website. Let's go kcpainter.com. Let's grab the interior painting link and then let's go here down to the bottom. Right here. Visit our interior or contact page today. Interior and contact page today. Save draft. All right. Oh, the density went down a little bit. So you see here by just adding a sentence, our keyword density got down into the yellow range. So I'm just going to find a spot I can fit it in. Here. And one way to do that is interior painting companies. If I just search the keyword, what I do of knowing where to put it in is I just look to see where there's the most little yellow possible. So here, I can go back to this one that we had right about all this stuff, and I can say, make sure to include more of in that verbiage. All right, cool. Let's take this, go back here. Here, I want this to all look like one section. So what I'm going to do is delete these little lines, because how we had it before was better. And then I'm going to make these H4. And then, because I use ChatGPT again, get rid of these stupid lines.
How do you
Cool.
do that little search bar?
Control F, or you go up to the top over here and you can hit. Where is it? Find and edit. Find.
Control F.
Yeah, Control F.
Okay.
Yeah, Control F is like one of my greatest tools. But you see now, once we did that, we got an 8 or 0.8, so that's solid. Cool. Interior painting companies. Cool. Save draft. Cool. Publish it, because it needs a real URL. And now, if we go out to the back, post. Okay, cool. So now we did it. I'll be completely honest. I would expect to see a higher score here. Typically, if we do all these things that I ask, usually I shoot for a 90 or higher on blogs, is my general rule of thumb. Is a 90 on the blogs is typically what I am shooting for. So I'm a little curious why we're only getting an 80 here. So is it really that URL? Is that like really just, here, I'm just going to test something. $84. Hang on a second. Let's go ahead and
Keyword density is just however many times that interior painting company is being used.
correct. And it's already used a lot. Like that's why it's like really hard to get it higher in there, and why chat really comes into play. Sometimes though, like I just make judgment calls. Like if I've done everything I possibly can and it's harder to get that score any higher, I usually just call it a day and just keep it there. If it's green, that's generally where I'm happiest. I'm just curious, what do I got for scores over here? Okay, I think things have changed. Yeah, I think things have changed. Because I only got an 86 out of 100, 86 out of 100, 87 out of 100. I think what Rank Math did was they made it impossible to get above a 90 unless you're using this content AI thing. As I'm pretty sure the whole reason why that thing doesn't want to work. Could be something like the SEO title. But yeah, I think green is what I am always shooting for. If you get to green, if you get all these things to a green check mark, you did a great job of SEO. You did better than most marketing agencies. So that's why I don't care too much about getting a perfect 100 out of the deal. I want to check this. I want to check my most recent one to be like, am I getting 90 still? I just remember back in the day, like I'm pretty sure my blogs from like 4 years ago are 90s, but I'm curious if they've like gone down since then. Let's see. No, somehow I got those to 90. I'm not curious what I'm just very interested to see what over here is saying to do that. Is it because I use a number? Is that the reason what got these to a 90? I used to take rank math very seriously in the past. Here, I'm curious about that. If we do, yeah, that didn't do anything.
It went up one, didn't
It did go up one, but like, that's not worth it to me. I don't. Yeah, I
it?
don't
Yeah,
care about
that's
that
weird.
one. Yeah, I did. Everything that we just went over is the basis of it. There's really not much else left to do. The only thing I'll mention is like, okay, here, ChatGPT boldened all the times we use the keyword because it just loves to do that. So I'm just gonna go through and unbold it each one of these times. Just because it looks weird if you're reading the article and you're like, they really care about interior painting companies. Yeah, so just be mindful of the user actually reading the blog sometimes. Doesn't hurt. But like I said, very few people are actually going to read these. The whole purpose of this is just to get your actual landing pages to rank higher. Like, that's why we do this. Cool. Save, save, save. And then once it's done... Oh, I forgot. There's one last thing to do. Over here on the side, is it the side? Yep. You're gonna, and here's why. I want to show you why you have to do this before I show you how to do it. Right now, we wrote this blog. There's no image. So how you get the image in there is what I'm showing you right now. So you go over here, you hit this sidebar tool. If you're in rank math, you just hit the sidebar tool, and then it's going to probably default to block. You're going to change this to post. And then once you're in post, then you get the settings for the blog. So we're going to set a featured image. So let's go ahead and set this featured image, maybe as it, maybe something else. Let's do this one. And then I'm going to change the author to you because people rather see your name than mine. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Oh, sorry. I guess there's some other stuff. Is that you can do categories. You can add tags. So interior painting companies, Kansas City painter. These have already been put in there for you. So you just take those. Cool. So we got the featured image. We updated the author. We updated the categories, and we added some tags for it. We save, and we are good to go. Now, if we come back over here to the blog, yep, it's got the image, and we can go ahead and check it out here. And here it is. You've essentially completed a blog.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations. And that's also where this image comes from. So until we had that featured image, that image wasn't there. So the feature, if things look weird, you're like, what the fuck's going on? It's probably the featured image. Like 9 times out of 10, it's probably the featured image that has things messed up. Something I'll mention too is the featured image doesn't require alt text. For whatever reason, it doesn't really have that much of an impact. I'm just choosing the one that we already used on the blog with alt text, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the process of coming up with a blog, actually going about getting the content to fill it out, and how I would go about optimizing it. Now, questions for me.
Man, this is why reading blogs online is just a complete waste of time these days.
It is. It's not for you. It's for the
Back
website.
in the day, you used to read blogs and it was like really good info.
Yeah. Well, no. So
Yeah.
something I want to mention too is there's 2 types of blogs I talk about all the time. There's blogs for SEO, and then there's blogs for marketing. And like you can try and do both. Like you could try and do a blog that has both an impact on your marketing and both an impact on your SEO. but this is a fucking boring read. So like prioritize one or the
Yeah.
other. Yeah. So like that's why I say if you're gonna do a blog that's exciting, just do a blog that's exciting. Don't care about SEO. If you're gonna do a blog for SEO, just do a blog for SEO. Don't really care about making it exciting. Choose one or the other kind of deal. It's like
Yeah.
my biggest recommendation for that.
Man, this was really good. I'm glad that I did this. I'm gonna have to watch this again while I do the first
It's
blog.
why I tell you to record this. There's no way I can expect you to retain it like a quarter of this information because this has literally been my career of like learning, figuring this stuff out. Like I'm sharing with you essentially just a decade worth of knowledge of trial and error and things like that. So it's why I do a video. It's why I'm happy to even do this. Like I very much believe in that philosophy. Like teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. And that's what essentially what I feel like I'm doing right here is like if I can show
Yeah.
you everything that I do for creating a blog, yeah, you don't need me. It's just a lot of work and the work can easily be done with ChatGPT. That's the cool thing about it nowadays. It used to be such a process to actually write this stuff out in the past. But now
Yeah.
ChatGPT does it for you. It really, really simplifies things. Like I said, the hardest part is that strategizing and then like including that local term. So here, let me just do this before I forget is SEO doc. SEO.
How much does it cost to get the Google, was it Google Analytics that shows you the actual info?
It doesn't cost anything. You just have to be spending money is the issue. It's like,
Oh, I see.
yeah, yeah. And KC Paint. Or no, it's James at KC Painter. There we go. Notify. Yeah, you can edit it. There you go. That way you have that. Um, and let me see. Like, do you even? It doesn't hurt. Like, if we go back to what I was showing you with that, I'm actually curious. Tools, keyword planner, painters near me. I guess it does give you some insight. But all right, let's do a hypothetical of let's say you're interested in exterior painting now. Like let's just go down that road for a second. Can you do it without as much information as I had? So exterior painting. Um, you kind of can. Like as long as you search by this, you're not going to get as much information, but you know whatever is one of these 100 to 1K is probably the most important keywords versus something from this 10 to 100 kind of thing. It's like these first 10 that you see are like the most important. So cost to paint an exterior of a house, extremely relevant. A lot of searches. That's a good one. Exterior house paint, exterior home painting, outside painters. Yeah, those are the subject or like the keywords to focus on.
So if you wanted to do the outside painter or exterior painters near me, then um which you probably wouldn't really focus on that one anyways because it's so in high demand, right?
Well, I would, like because like again, you're getting most of the SEO traffic's coming from China, coming from India. If you can just get, it's again not great with analogies, but the way I try and explain SEO in pages and blogs, if like think about a bathtub, and you got like a rubber ducky in it, and you want that rubber ducky to rise all the way to the top. And think of like that rising to the top as your SEO. When that ducky is eye level with the tub, like you have great SEO. And the way you do that, the way you keep adding water to the bath is through blogs. So each time you write a blog, think of it as like you're dumping a cup of water into the bathtub. And then think of like that rubber ducky as your actual homepage. So as you keep writing a blog, the chances of your homepage showing up are higher and higher and higher and higher. It's not the blog that's going to be showing up, it's your homepage that's going to be showing up.
Yeah.
Because your homepage is like, hey, we're the expert in this. Like your homepage has the highest potential around painting. Like that is where its biggest potential like opportunity for it to rank is painting. So like anytime you write a blog around painting, it just increases the likelihood that homepage is going to show up.
Gotcha. So
Um,
if you did exterior painters near me, would you put that as the exact keyword?
it's so hard. Like I said, it's so hard to get a well written blog if you do the near me. I did it as a cheat in this. Again, this felt hard to do. I want to stress that above all else. I don't think this is something you can do as a beginner. Like, you're welcome to give it a stab, but like you see, no, I didn't even do near. No, what I did for Jessica was this. Um, it's hard. I want to stress that it's hard, but interior painting near Dayton, Ohio is a way to do it. So I'm
Hmm.
optimizing for it. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure I'm not even optimizing. Like, I'm pretty sure this is just the keyword. Like, let's just go take a peek. So edit page. Yeah, interior painting is the keyword. I'm not targeting interior painting near. But this is what goes back to what I was saying before is technically you could optimize for 10 keywords in a blog. It just gets really, really tricky. I'm just being mindful, like, okay, the most common, like, this, again, this is because it's been a decade of doing this. I know the most common way people search it of something for painting, they're always including this near me attached to it. So, like, this is where the strategy comes in. If we can strategize a way to effectively come up with a subject line that includes near me, and again, ChatGPT is super helpful with this. So, ChatGPT, let's ask it. Exterior painting near me is the keyword I want to target, but it's hard to write a blog with the near me. Yeah, these feel so forced. And that's the thing is, like, when you're forcing SEO, you get bad SEO. It's got to be natural. And that's, yeah, because like the real way you would write this is the ultimate checklist for finding exterior painters near you or something like that. It's you're really forcing to get the near me to work. So typically I'm never incorporating the near me as part of SEO. I'm just incorporating geographical to some degree otherwise. And again, there's so much that you can do blog wise. Like, when I look at these keyword ideas, I see this one. Exterior painters is the keyword. Cost of paint, exterior of house is the keyword. Exterior house paint, that's a keyword. Exterior home painting, that's a keyword. Outdoor painters, that's a keyword. We already talked about outside painters. Cost to repaint house exterior. That gave you one, two, three, four, five, six blogs to write about right there. Like, that's six potential blogs, and then plus everything else that gets searched too. So like, yeah, if you feel like you're working really hard, you're probably making more work for yourself. Is the best way to describe like choosing keyword. It's like really just the most basic version of this stuff is how I go about it. Like brick paint would work if I was doing a lot of brick painting. Like just talking about
Yeah.
like the best brick paint to choose is like the blog I had to write for that. And again, like this is where subject matter expertise comes into play. Like if you can actually share a secret in your blog, that makes that blog better. Like whereas like if you're just doing the most basic stuff of like everyone knows you probably need to reach out to get an appropriate quote on the pricing of something, but like it does so much more for you to actually go into detail how you price something out. Again, keep in mind most of your customers aren't going to read this. The one customer that actually gets those inside secrets is probably going to just feel really like compelled to work with you after reading that real insight if they dug through it in a blog. So yeah, be like, again, I cannot stress enough, you want to open up in your blogs as much as possible. But with this little bit of time left, let's go back to this other blog that you had over here. So, and I just want to show you like what I would do with this. So, painting contractors in Kansas City, 7 tips on how to hire the right one. I'm actually curious. Could we use that all as a term? Painting. No. People do search that. That's cool. You see, there's like a bunch of different ways to search the same thing. Painting companies Kansas City has the highest SEO potential, but still, painting contractors doesn't work. Contractors is a little bit lower. From what I'm seeing here, is that it's better to use the terminology company over contractor in your SEO. So because of that, I probably will just right now just painting companies in Kansas City. 7 tips on how to hire the right one. Okay. We already did painting company, so I'm going to do painting companies in Kansas City as the blog keyword here. Or, no, not in, near Kansas City. This is probably one time we could actually use the near word. So, painting company. Oh. All right, you already got a 47. That's not bad. So now what we're going to do here, we're going to take this information.
And ChatGPT did write the majority of that.
That's not problematic. That's just the right way to do it. Work smarter, not harder. All right. Okay, let's see what we got. $57.95. I just wanted to increase that density a little bit, so I'm just going to tell it again. All right. While it is doing that, let's just go take care of the basics. So first things first, let's just go add a featured image. I'm just going to choose this one. You are the author. This is painting. We could just use all the keywords. Save.
Is it bad to like if I did 5 blogs to publish all those at the same time?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't think there's like any specific like timing restrictions or anything like that that you need to be aware of. Again, I'm talking on my ass a little bit right there. Let's just do it. Can I post 5 blogs at once, or should I spread them out? I'm actually curious because you asked that question. Oh, you'll get better results spreading them all out. It makes sense. I would do them every other week or once a month kind of deal. It just depends on like how often you can keep pushing them out kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. All right. We need the meta description. Cool. That is there. Content's a little low, but that's fine. Let's add an image. Add image. We'll use the same one that we just did. Painting companies near Kansas City restoring historical homes. Or no. On a recently completed project. Again, trying to describe this to a blind person is the idea. All right, cool. Link out to external resources. Here. Painters near me. It's probably not the ideal way to do it, but it was the only thing I could think of, like on the spot, of like, how can we get an external thing to link to? You're gonna have to search for 3 painting contractors. Might as well just link that, make that easy. Internal. Cool. That's everything. It's not quite an 80 because of the length. Length is a little bit of it there.
I can mess with that.
Yeah, yeah, it's not hard. I showed you
That'll
what to
give me
do.
good practice to try to get it up.
Yeah, but at the very least you could publish it still. It doesn't hurt because I just want to go see how it looks like.
Is there any like negative to publishing it and then coming back and editing it?
I'm going to assume like a yes is a fair response to say, but I do that all the time. So I wouldn't worry
Okay.
too much about it. I legit do that all the time. That's everything though. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else to really be like, as long as you keep putting out blogs, you're good to go. I'm trying to think if there's anything else for me to touch on with you here. No, once you get a score, you hit publish, you take a look at it, make sure it looks good. And like, if all's good to go, you're solid.
Yeah, no, this was great, man. I really appreciate it. I'm really glad that I did this.
I'm glad you did too. Very few people take advantage of these like training sessions, and I'm always like, you'll get the most bang for your buck. It's just how, if you don't have like, it's like how much time you actually want to spend on all this stuff. There's so many things to do that.
Right.
But yeah, blogging is definitely the thing that I think every business owner should be doing, because again, you're the resident expert subject matter. There's no one that knows your business better than you. So like only you can really speak about the things to get good content out of. Because the other thing to think about this too, being mindful of like the content that you're creating, is like you don't want to put out the same content every other painting company is putting out. Like
Right.
everyone is writing the same blogs. So if you can put out a blog that says something differently than all the other blogs, I'm pretty sure Google will notice that.
That makes sense. Cool. Well, yeah, the only other thing I wanted to touch base with you is maybe if you could let me know like what are um I know we talked about like that you could put some touches on the website, and if that's something that you're still interested in, I'd be interested in kind of getting an idea on like you doing that
Yeah.
because I'm sure that anything
So I mean,
is
like
valuable.
when I look at it, there's like immediately things that like jump out to me. Like there's a lot of white space. So like figure out some way. I don't. My design process is so ridiculous. It's me fiddling around with stuff. So I don't necessarily have a explicit recommendation of something to do. But like I look at this and I go, all right, this is clearly one of like the first websites I built. There's a lot of white space here. Does it make sense to do something like where we add like a background over here, like a slightly grayish one? Is that going to help the website's feel? I don't know. Does it? I'll play around with it, decide like, okay, I kind of like that. I know we do that down here. Like maybe we match this to that. Like what's the color that we're using there? That's an example of what I mean of like I could go in and just do some touch ups to the site, like get some more like just up to date it is like a way to describe it, or just like look at things and go, okay, we didn't touch much of the homepage because of like the SEO in the past. Like I remember us not really doing much to the homepage visually to keep some existing SEO that you had back then. But now that we know, like, okay, the SEO changed from 3 years ago or whatever, we could probably add an FAQ section here. It's not going to like negatively impact something because like the SEO has changed since then. Like there's really nothing left to lose. So yeah, if you're interested in that, like if you're just interested in having me go in here and just take a look at everything, fiddle around, take a look at pages, or if, and the other thing too is like, um, if you're like, yeah, that sounds good, but I don't need it on every aspect of my website. Like if you're really only focused on interiors and you don't want me to go look at everywhere else, like okay, we can focus on only interiors or something. Essentially, what I'm saying is like I'm happy to work with you, whatever makes the most sense. If you're like, Tyler, I got 5 hours for you. Go have fun. Go do whatever you can in those 5 hours. Happy to do that. Or if you're like, I'm really set on improving the interior painting page, well then it could be that's a specific goal, and there's no set time frame. It's just I want to upgrade my interior painting page, and blogging is an example of this. So like this might be something we do after you've written more blogs, because now we have content. I can create a section over here where I go in and say, okay, let's use these new posts that we've created. And we can use specifically ones that are term interior. So now we're only showing blogs that are interior related blogs, for example. And like we can add more to the site by doing that. And now we can have a thing down here at the bottom. There's a lot that you could do with your website. And the way I'll explain this is like constantly people come to me with this idea of like, hey, I need more leads. Tyler, I need to do marketing. I need to do more leads. And I go, all right, well, your website conversion rate is 1%. You don't need more leads. If we go from 1% to 2%, that effectively doubles the amount of leads that you're getting. So that's the other thing too, is like the reason why I'm saying I can go in and do website edits is ideally it's going to have an impact on your conversion rate overall. Anything I'm going to do is going to be with that mindset. Is this going to lead to a higher conversion rate kind of thing? It's not just going in there just to fiddle around with things, just to fiddle around with it. It's like, okay, here are things that I'm pretty sure are going to have an impact on this going forward. And we don't have to do it right now. Like that's something else too. Like I really do think it might make sense to wait until a few blogs are written for me to come back and then utilize them as part of those pages, for example. And the other thing too is like, if you want me to really focus on like an interior painting on the interior painting page, for example, I can do that, work on that, and we could check in because it becomes really easy for me to replicate my work once it's been done. So like if you're like, yeah, I kind of like this idea, let's explore with the interior painting first. Go do that hourly, cap it at 3 hours, see what we can do. If you're a big fan of what happened, well then it's just okay. There's a template. We can just apply that template to every other page and then do it at like a reduced cost compared to the first time of having to do it for that first page, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
What are you
Um,
thinking? Like, is this something you want to do like now at the start of the year? You want to wait a little bit? Is there a specific part of the website that you want my attention focused on? I'm just kind of curious to hear that from you.
um, you know, I was kind of just wanting to see like what you were talking about as far as your design skills kind of improving and stuff. And just like I like how the website is now. Like
I
I feel
think
like
personally, like truthfully, and this is me speaking to you just as someone who's worked with you for a long time, I don't think you need my help until you get professional photos or a professional video shot. I think that's going to elevate your website dramatically before anything I ever do has an effect on it.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And it's funny, I got professional photos taken one time and then I just didn't like them. So I never did anything. I was like, I'm just gonna take the pictures myself.
Yeah.
They were too like over it just didn't look
Here's my
natural.
recommendation. So like what I do when I'm looking to get professional photos for a client, I do like a Craigslist ad or some job posting, and I advertise $100 for 30 minutes of your time. So it just already seems like a good paid opportunity. And then the idea is I write in the, do I have an example here? I wonder if that page still exists. Damn it, I don't have it on that one. mcclintonpainting.com/photographer. I think I deleted it. Photo, maybe? This. This is how I advertise it whenever I'm looking to hire a photographer. Join us to showcase home makeovers specializing in dramatic before and afters of home interiors and exteriors, perfect for photographers aiming to break into real estate and interior design. The idea is you're looking just for someone that has a camera. They don't have a portfolio. Because everyone has a camera nowadays. I got 3 right here. I'm an amateur photographer. I know damn well that there's a ton of people with really good gear and have an eye, and you don't need to pay full price for them. I could never comfortably charge $1,000 for a photo shoot because that's not my main career. I could charge $1,000 for a blog because I do this every day. But that's essentially the concept of what I'm saying here with photography. If you can find a kid that's happy to get paid $75 for 75 to $100 for 30 minutes of their time just to go in and snap as many photos as they can without any editing, dude, it's such a steal. And the thing is, the reason why this works is I'll get something like 100 applications, and then I just choose the applicant that takes the best photos. It's that simple. It's like, oh, I like how this guy takes photos, I'm going to work with him, and then you're done. And that's how we got these. I'm using this right now in a project. Let me pull them up. They're not awful, they're not phenomenal, but they work much better than a cell phone, that's for sure. So these photos is how we got that's how I got these photos for a client. And you can see like there's a tangible difference between that and we updated the photos. Yeah, we updated the photos now. It did not used to look good prior. It used to look so bad prior. Yeah, everything's updated now. But before, it was all cell phone imagery. And the site felt really, really awkward before we got professional imagery. That's why I say is like no matter what I do, nothing's going to have as much of an impact as much as like a photo does or a really well shot video or something like that. So truthfully, like that is my biggest recommendation. And if you want my assistance, the best way I can offer my assistance is if I have new, really good material to work with.
That makes sense. When you look at my website, can you does that like really does that bother if you were saying, I don't know, chopping
I
up a
notice
paint?
it. I notice it, but that's me. Like we made it work with the images here at the top of the page. Like it's kind of hidden at first. Like you can't tell that it's not necessarily professional imagery. I think the site does a really good job at that, especially with the video too. But me as a designer, I sniff it out instantly. Like I can tell. Like, but that's just me. I do this every day. I don't know if everyone does. I just know from experience every little, again, all marketing traffic flows through the website. If you can get 10% more leads from doing one thing like getting professional photos, like that's a lot of leads. If you're getting 100 leads per year, that's an extra 10 leads or something like that. It's why I have this. It's why I'm such an asshole about just constantly talking about the website and optimizing it. Is because everything theoretically flows through there. And if something can have
Yeah.
a subliminal effect on it, that's the hard thing. It's hard for me to be like, if you take photos, you're going to get a 10% increase engagement time or a 10% increase conversion rate or something like that. Because that's not how it happens. The data will sometimes be really weird. Like sometimes we'll do this. We'll do like we'll get photos and then we'll notice like, oh, the engagement rate dropped significantly, but the conversion rate shot up. And it means like, oh, people were quicker to reach out now from this. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, it probably doesn't hurt to be doing it. It's something we should be doing. So when we have the chance to do it, let's get to it kind of thing.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, that'll give me something to kind of work towards.
Yeah, and if you need help finding a photographer, because again, like it's a way I can offer assistance. I've done it in the past. That if you're having a really hard time finding a photographer, give me a shout. I mean, you saw my secrets right there. I just spilled my beans on how I do it. Feel free to replicate it.
Yeah, no, I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, it works really. I've been doing that for 10 years now. It works too well not to. The hard part's getting it to work for video. I've not found a way to get good videographers yet, but trying.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
cool,
cool,
man.
man.
Yeah, great catching up. I got to run.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
no, yeah, me too. I appreciate it.
yeah, I got a date at a Portuguese restaurant tonight. So
Oh yeah, nice. Where you live in Colorado still?
no, I'm out in Cape Cod,
Oh,
Massachusetts.
Cape Cod. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
I guess you can kind of move wherever you want to, and it doesn't matter.
that's my goal for 2025. Starting
Yeah,
January 1st, I'm putting my house up for sale. I'm going to try and sell it and then do the nomad life. See if I can make that happen. Because it's like
nice.
I've been talking about living out of a van literally since I've been like 16. That's just like I have a career that can allow me to do it. I'd be actually crazy
Yeah,
not to take advantage of it now. So trying.
that's
We'll see
awesome.
how it goes.
Cool, man. Will you send me the video link on this or?
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I just
Okay.
got to upload it. But yeah, it should be uploaded by the time I get back later, and then I'll send it over to you.
All right, sounds good. Well, I appreciate your expertise, and I'll keep in touch with you.
Sounds great. And then,
Okay,
like
cool,
I
man.
said, try and get some photos. I really do think that's going to be something that helps out. And like once you get one, you're kind of done. Like you don't need to keep doing it. It helps if you keep doing it. But once you get one really good set of photos, man, that is so useful for everything else moving forward.
Do you just delete all your old projects though, and just have that?
Essentially, think about it this
Yeah,
way: the website should be nothing but the best of the best examples of your work, and then social media is for everything else.
gotcha.
That's my
That makes
approach for
sense.
it. Yeah,
Cool. All
sweet.
right. All
Take
right,
care,
man.
man.
Take care. All right, see
Adios.
you. Thanks.